Relationships, old and new. Which is for like relationships with older people. Marriage in later years, together, then alone. After the age of 65, a lot of the times, it's a man's world. 75% of women will outlive their husband. They're still married later in life. Most of the time it's a satisfied marriage. 2% of divorce is women over 60. Most of the time when it comes to divorce with women, it's either the husband's abusive or an alcoholic. And only with divorce with men, it's they found another woman. A lot of times it's younger. Dealing with retirement, too much togetherness. When you retire, you spend a lot more time together. The men become more affiliative, and the women become more assertive and anonymous. Caring for an aging spouse. This is the final opportunity to show love and devotion to one another. It can cause a lot of emotional distress. The one who mainly provides the care is the wife. They're known as the natural caregivers, but there can be times where the men will have to take care of the wife. The death of a spouse, becoming widowed. If it's a good marriage, a lot of times it can be painful and stressful when the other spouse dies. And you join the widowhood when your spouse dies. A lot of times the other spouse has to learn new tasks and chores because, like, say if it was a wife who dies, the husband probably didn't do as many chores as a wife did around the house, so they would have to learn all those new tasks. Your social life will change, and when you go out with your friends, a lot of times that person will become the fifth wheel because you will more than likely go out with like couples. There's a decrease in economic well-being, and the 3 stages of widowhood are preparation, grief and mourning, and adaptation. And friendship. Why friends matter in late adulthood. Most of the time, you'll choose them. They're more important in late adulthood because they're going to be there for you when that spouse dies. They'll be somebody that you can build a relationship with. And when that friend dies, it's going to be less traumatic than like a family member who dies. Social support. Significance of others. A lot of times they're there to furnish that material support that person wouldn't have. And they're also there in the emotional time when a spouse dies or they found out they had cancer and their spouse had died. Just anything that involves emotional. Family relationships with the children. 75% of children will live within 30 minutes of their parents. They tend to spend, if they live closer, they tend to spend a lot more time with their parents. Statistics show that daughters will spend more time with their parents than the sons. A lot of times the daughters are more close with the parents. A lot of times there's an asymmetrical relationship with parents and children. Most of the time, the parents will talk nearly every day to the children to kind of keep them up with the problems and stuff that's going on. A family, great-grandchildren or grandchildren, they're not really involved. A lot of times the grandchildren or great-grandchildren aren't as close as the children. And typically, great-grandchildren, there's quite a bit of them, and not every parent gets to meet their great-grandchildren, so it's a pretty big deal when you do. And a lot of times they look at it as they're the next person to carry on the role of them. With African Americans, they're more involved with their grandchildren or great-grandchildren. And like I said, the great-grandchildren don't play a lesser role with the grandparents. The last is elder abuse. It's pretty low statistics. A lot of times people are scared, humiliated, or harassed to even admit that they have been abused. Alzheimer's and major neurocognitive is the biggest target for elder abuse.